Hi, my name is Norma, and my story started in December of 2020 when a colony of cats located at the Renaissance, which is a retirement center in Sun Lakes, were trapped by Critter Getter. I had fed this colony of cats for 6 years with permission. His name is Travis, and he authorized the trapping of my cats and asked him not to trap my cats. And we told him pest control will not do the right thing by the cats, that it will be a terrible outcome. And he said, well, the cats are creating problems for us. And I and my friend tried to convince him that, give us an opportunity, we can mitigate the problems and the complaints. Left him all sorts of literature about TNR. And within an hour after our meeting, I sent him an email and I said, let us trap the cats.
Where to start with this?
I met with her and one of her associates. They came in,
okay,
and I asked her. I said, do you want to remove the cats?
I know.
I said, if you can remove the cats and relocate them, that'd be fine too. She said, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
So I
understood. I completely understood.
Yeah.
You are not. I'm the one. I apologize. I'm interrupting your day.
Email, and he said, I proceeded with our vendors to have the cats removed. Now I have it in writing that he said these cats will go to a cat rescue. I said, I am going to report this incident to Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. And I did. Called the deputy. And I said, this is against the laws. And I said, there's animal cruelty laws. And these cats are free-roaming cats. And they are not to be relocated. And pest control will do harm to the cats.
They trapped the feral cats. Let's say they trapped them, right? And let's say they just drove it out to the middle of nowhere in the desert and let them go. That's still perfectly legal by Arizona law.
Okay.
So nothing criminal is going on with the feral cats. It is perfectly legal to trap them on your own property, just as if you had feral cats on your property and you chose to trap them. It is perfectly legal to take them to another location and let them go. So, and once again, don't let me confuse this with, these may not be my views. I can only go by what the law tells me. But you own a dog, let's pretend, okay? Mm-hmm. And you say, you know what? I just don't like this dog anymore. This dog's horrible. I don't want it. I hate dogs. And you take your dog out to the desert and you shoot it in the head. And it passes away from that. And then you dispose of the dog properly. That's perfectly legal. Okay? So the same thing transfers over to animals. Animals are considered property in the state of Arizona. Just as if you threw your DVD player away. The only exception to that would be you have to do it in a humane manner, right? So that's where the difference is. So I appreciate your love for the animals, and your concern for the cats, but feral cats are just wild animals. And so with wild animals, yes, they are free roaming, just like the coyotes free roaming, and they can be transferred to other locations.
I was pretty upset about it. And I said, what's going to happen now? And he says, I'm going to turn it over to a detective for further investigation. He said, you can call Maricopa County Records Division Department. They will probably have an incident report started, and you can call them. So I finally got a hold of them, and they said, oh yeah, it was Critter Getter that got your cats. It was December the 28th. I finally found out that it was Critter Getter. I had names, I had a phone number. I immediately called Critter Getter.
I'm hoping you can help me to remove some cats on their property on December the 1st.
Okay, and I'm not sure what your question was then.
Well, my question is, that's a colony I took care of for 6 years, and I was just shocked that they took this action, and one of the cats I was very fond of, she really shouldn't have been trapped. They knew I was in the process of trying to trap her myself. Could I hire you, your company, to retrap the cats and bring them to my home?
We're not able to provide that type of service at this time.
And that's because,
They had hired us, it was a special situation on that, but if you have more questions, I can have my specialist give you a call.
Well, can you tell me where the cats are?
I do apologize, ma'am. Like I said, I'm not able to disclose any information regarding that. I was just getting back with you.
I will pay you. I will pay you to get my cats back. I will pay you whatever they paid you to trap my cats to get my cats back. And she said, well, we can't offer that kind of service to individuals. Detective, he wasn't a sergeant, the detective, called me up on the phone and said, feral cats are wildlife and there's no protection under animal cruelty laws. The case has been closed.
and I basically want my property back. As far as I'm concerned, Critter Getter stole my property.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, ma'am, because free-roaming cats are not anybody's property. Just because you feel that they're your property doesn't make them your property. Free-roaming cats are free-roaming.
Right. And they're also covered by the animal cruelty laws, which means that Critter Getter can't just take them and put them somewhere and abandon them. That's abandonment.
There's no indication that anything untoward happened to those cats. My understanding is they were introduced into another cat colony at a different location.
And I want that information. I want to get
No
those.
criminal act has occurred, and because there is no criminal act that's occurred, we cannot force anybody to tell us where the cats are at.
Because they abandon them, and that's against the animal cruelty laws. They put them where there's no water, food, or shelter, and they can't prove otherwise.
You don't know that.
You don't know that they did. You don't know that they did.
We have talked to the person who removed the cats, and he told us what he did with them. We have no reason not to believe that.
Well, why can't you tell me where they are taken? If nothing untoward was done towards those cats, you should be able to tell me where those cats are.
The person who removed them and put them in the other colony that he told us about will not tell us the location of the colony.
And that's because
we have no criminal reason to compel him to tell us.
Okay.
And in there, he says, upon contacting Norma, I let her know that we had spoken to the pest control company who confirmed that they had trapped the cats from the area and placed them with another colony of feral cats away from the property. Several times now, there is no evidence of any criminality. You might not like the fact that the cats were removed from the property, but the property owner had every right to have those cats removed.
What if they just dumped them in the desert? And she says, there's nothing, unless you can prove it, there's nothing we can do to help you. And then I called Maricopa County Animal Control, and I talked to this lady, and she said it absolutely is against the law to relocate free-roaming cats. Maricopa County Sheriff Department, the detective, sergeant detective, said that it is beyond their investigative powers to force Critter Getter to provide specifics about where the cats were placed and who has my cats. This is what they suggested I do. Write Critter Getter a letter and ask them if they would please contact the person who has my cat so that I can connect with this person and provide her support through food, money for the care of the cats, whatever. I sent a letter to Critter Getter, and I got no response.
A lot about feral cats. All I know is that from what I read, they're wild cats. They're not tame cats. And I have read that potentially they can spread disease, and there may be issues. To be blunt, she's suggesting that the cats cannot be removed. The only thing that is done with cats by, and she said pest control companies, they take the cats, they inhumanely trap them, and then they take them into the desert and do whatever they do with them. I'm not here to tell you that that's what you did.
I will swear to you that is not the case.
Okay.
Give me a Bible.
I didn't drive here to tell you that's what
Right.
what you did. I think the reason why we're here is that we're trying to be very neutral, and I would love to give her peace of mind, I guess, if that makes sense. Okay, she's obviously devoted to these animals.
Sure.
I have 3 dogs. I'm not a cat person, and I'll admit that, but I have 3 dogs, and I guess in the back of my mind think, okay, if I were taking care of my animals and all of a sudden they were gone, I don't know what I would think. I'm not suggesting in any way anybody here did anything nefarious with the cats. I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm reaching out to you as a favor without compromising anything you guys do, without putting yourselves in a position. Can you help me in any way with anything that I can say to this lady who's obviously concerned to try to put her mind at ease? Can you explain like what you do with the cats, what the process is, how your business handles stuff like that? I'm not even sure how many feral cats you guys deal with. I don't even know if that's your main.
It's not.
No, okay.
We do bugs and primarily
Oh.
raccoons
Oh.
and squirrels and things like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
It was a unique situation because we were subcontracted
And-
from
and-
another service
And
provider.
keep in mind, you don't have to tell me.
Right.
I really appreciate
Right.
this. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. She's called numerous times. She's had deputies at her doorstep at least 4 or 5 times. Her heart's in this, and I'm trying to make everybody happy here. If that makes
Understood.
sense.
Understood. So it's not our primary business.
Okay.
It was a unique situation, and they have been relocated to another feral colony.
Okay.
I'm around a lot of places, as of you guys are. I'm sure you know where your feral cat feeders are in certain
Sure.
neighborhoods. And we have relocated into a feral colony where the lady leaves the garage door open.
Okay.
She leaves several bowls of food and water out
Okay.
for the other feral cats that she cares for.
Okay.
And so they've been reintroduced into another feral colony in the Mesa area.
Okay. Can I just ask? Has she accepted feral cats before? I won't reveal her name at all. I'm just curious because that's probably going to be a question asked, and I just want to be as. And please don't put yourself in a position
Right.
you
Right.
don't.
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I can't.
And I think when we spoke, I think you gave me a sort of a crossroads. I think it was like University and.
Rio Salado.
And Rio
North
Salado.
Mesa, yeah.
Can you tell me if it was a residential area?
It was.
Okay.
That's another, piece of the puzzle I'll never know the answer to. I'll never get the answer to any of these questions.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I have to let it go, but it's like a wound that won't heal. It's like a wound that won't heal. So, my husband says I've done more than I should have ever done in terms of trying to save these cats. And I have. I've done so much.
It's hard to let go, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Because what upsets me is if I don't do something about it, it's going to happen to someone else, like you, or you, or you.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to stop.
Because nobody does anything.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Anybody who is in authority does not care. Animal control, humane society, that's not their problem. It doesn't fit their mission. It doesn't fit their business model to care. There's no money in it. There's no resources in it.
Yeah.
The people who suffer from this are people that this isn't about money. This is all about compassion and heart. Colony caretakers are doing a marvelous job on behalf of their communities by trapping these cats, feeding them, getting them fixed, managing the colonies. We're doing a great service for our communities, and communities don't recognize that. They have not stepped up to the plate. They have the resources. They should be stepping up to the plate, but they're not doing that. They're relying on good-hearted people like us who see a problem and we deal with it. We go out, we trap the cats, we get them fixed, we feed them. It's time, it's money, and we don't get anything out of this other than the fact that we're taking care of these. Most of the time, these cats have been dumped, they've been lost, and they're finding a way to survive. They could be, in fact, lost pets that get out, that can't find their way home. It's not their fault they're out on the streets. People have, in one way or another, abandoned them. Their owners don't take responsibility, like you spoke of. They just let these situations get worse and worse. They don't do anything about it. Does the community come in and do anything about it? No, not until it's a hoarding situation. When a cat's inside a house, it's protected, as you mentioned, for hoarding situations. Then authorities will come in and manage the cat situation. But once the cat is outside, everybody turns a blind eye to them. And that's not right. We are doing communities a great service. And our reward should be that these cats, and what we've done for these cats, are respected, and that we have protections for ourselves, that we're not harassed, that we're not taken to court, that we're not threatened. None of this should be happening. The law should be on our side because we are doing community services for our neighbors and the community. And that's the way it should be. Good versus evil.